Did I scare you? I think I got him.
Hello, people of the earth. Welcome to what's in store for Horror Month 2024. I thought there was something lumpy behind me. Go away. You're ruining the mood. I am Ackieforest, and I am about to tell you what's in store for this year when it comes to the horror month. First off, I'm going to address the elephant in the room. It isn't you, shut up. Scary isn't it? I got my hair cut especially for the occasion. Do you like it? Yes, I cut it myself. Anyway. I really did cut it myself. I wasn't set for the effect.
I thought you were not trying to ruin the mood.
Shut up. You know me. We like to be a bit silly around here. But you can ignore these cutesy characters. Look at these cutesy characters. Look at that one up there. Look, you can just about see him. I can tickle him. Moving on. But you can ignore them, because now we walk into the realm of horror once again. A yearly tradition here on this channel. I should stop talking like that. Alright, now I've got that sorted out of the way. Yes. I'm just going to be giving you the scoop, unless you're leaving it as a surprise for yourself. But we have some interesting ones this year. Probably not ones that are first on my list, but nonetheless, they're still going to be pretty darn good, I'm assuring, because I always approach everything with a meh and attitude anyway, for the most part. Yeah, there hasn't been a lot of horror games this year that have actually come out, so in places we're kind of going a little bit more back in time, not too far back in time, but far enough. But there are a good deal of selections. I'm going to be telling you all the games, and then I'm going to be telling you how I'm going to proceed to deliver them to you over the course of October. Everything is going to start exactly on the 1st of October. And I have 5 games. I try to get 5 games anyway. Sometimes we end up with 4, but yeah, we have 5. Despite the drought of horror games, there have been some which I've wanted to play and some which I've just been curious about. And now's the time, I guess, to finally play them. I've got 2 Let's Plays lined up, and I've got 2 live streams set up. We're going to keep the tradition of being Thursday and Friday for live streams. Thursday's live streams will be at 8 o'clock start time here in the UK, which is 9 o'clock in Germany, and 2 o'clock US Eastern Time. And then the weekly Friday live streams, which will be every week, just like Thursday this time around in October, will be 7:30 as usual. We're going to keep to that formula because I don't want to create too much confusion, obviously. But for the Let's Plays, we're going to have you'll get the weekends to yourself to rest from all the horror, and then I'm going to be uploading Let's Plays on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. But what do we got for this lovely little lineup of horrors and delights this year? Every Monday, with the exception of the first week, because we're going to get through all 5 games over the respective, because October starts on a Tuesday. The first is on a Tuesday, so we're going to cover the first game that I'm going to talk about on a Tuesday, then on Wednesday the next game, then I'll be live streaming obviously on Thursday and Friday. So we'll get all games covered in one take in 1 week, so you won't have to wait for the last game for the following week. So yeah, and then this first game will be every Monday after the initial week. And that game is called Monstrum. And I have already recorded just a little teeny bit. I've recorded one part of the first of the Let's Plays themselves. So I've got a little taste of each one. But this first one's actually kind of interesting. It is an indie horror game. You're on a boat and you're trying to get off of it through some means, be it there's a helicopter or there's a submarine, and you have to find things in order to get off. But where's the horror element? You say, well, of course, the horror element is in the fact that you are alone on this ship, but someone or something is hunting you down, and you have to avoid it and escape. And it's all randomly, procedurally generated. The ship is always random, and the item location's always random, so you never know what you're gonna get. There's also different types of monsters. So there's always only one monster, but they can vary for every gameplay. And so far, I kind of like it. I'm looking forward to playing a bit more for you guys. But I've already recorded the first part of it, as I said. We'll move back, because last year I was having problems with my computer and saving issues. Now that I'm not, we're going to bump it back up to an hour long. And these games that I've got are decently good enough to last for an hour. Definitely Monstrum flew by for the first recording, so we're all good. And then the next game I'm going to be playing, which will be every Tuesday and Wednesday, I'll be doing uploads of it. It will be an interesting game called GYLT. I forgot for a second, but I think it's pronounced as Guilt. I think. But I've made up several names for it, which you'll be hearing throughout the month, of what I interpret the name to be. But I've already recorded the first part, and it's in essence a sort of a game that revolves around a young girl, and she's gone into this school to find her cousin, and it's been overrun with monsters and demons and evil things. It's all a bit vague at the moment from what I'm understanding, but that's part of the mystery, I suppose. It's a mysterious opening, and then it gets into it's more like, it's a lot of like cat and mouse games, like you're hiding a lot and keeping out of sight, and it's a lot Alien Isolationist in that respect. I do compare it kind of the first part I've recorded to it, unfortunately. But yeah, Alien Isolation is still my favorite. But yeah, it's very sort of stay hidden and don't get spotted, otherwise you're screwed kind of thing. But I dig that kind of gameplay for horror. It builds up the suspense, I find. So that's every Tuesdays and Wednesdays. And then on Thursdays, of course, we will be going into our more horror games from Dreams. Of course I am. It's becoming a thing, but hey, we get a bit of variety with Dreams, and no exception with horror either, because we're skipping over the horror games that I'm passing over when I'm playing it every other time of the year, to save them all up for this month, and there's plenty to go around. So we've got plenty more to plow through, and I plan to do another 3 hours streams of those. So yes, once again, that will be starting at 8. Sorry, where was I? I had to just I had to stop recording and start the camera again. But yeah, we'll be live streaming Dreams horror games specifically at 8 o'clock UK time, 9 o'clock in Germany, and 2 o'clock US Eastern time, going for 3 hours every Thursday. Every Thursday. Got a lot to get through. And then it brings us on to Fridays, and one of the games that I am streaming this year is a game that I'm really looking forward to. It's not Dead Space. Everyone's probably assuming he's going to play that. No. Alien Isolation was my sci-fi horror game. and nothing is gonna top it. And Dead Space certainly isn't. It's a great game, but it's just not me. There's combat involved. I don't want combat in my horror games. That's what ruined Resident Evil, pretty much. Even though it has combat in it, but it was limited combat and it was resources combat. It wasn't like heavy combat like Resident Evil 4, which doesn't really click with me. And then they made the series go more in that direction. Good job. Anyway, I'm not ranting. I'm talking about what I'm doing, which I like doing. But yeah, speaking of, I am going on this Resident Evil rant for a reason, though, because I believe this game is really heavily inspired by the old Resident Evil titles and puts a whole new kind of like little twist of its own to it, and it is called Crow Country. Yeah, I played a demo of this earlier in the year, and I'm like, I'm hoping this comes out before October this year. And, of course, we're here, and it has. So I will be playing Crow Country every Friday on Friday's live streams. That will be the first part, and then the second part is a game that I've been, shall we say, observing for a little while, and they re-released it. It's an old game, but they've, like I said, we've had to go a little bit back in time, but they've kind of re-released it and rehashed it. It's not a complete overhaul, but it's just like an upgrade for a newer console, and it is, this is where my pun comes in, it's called Observer, and this is the System Redux version. So that is what I'm going to be playing on the second half of Friday's live streams. That one's a game a little bit like the more horrific version of Psychonauts, which, if you're familiar with that game, is kind of horror-inducing itself. But it's someone that can go into people's psyche and sort of I think he's like investigating crimes and stuff, and he like sees how they operate or whatever. I'm pretty vague on the details. Like I said, I haven't done a heavily amount of research. I'm kind of going in blind, but that's what I take from it. But it's very sort of they've updated. This is the System Redux version, so they've upscaled the visuals a little bit more. So when you go into these weird and wonderful places, they look a little bit more visually pleasing and stunning and whatever. That's not the whole concept of the game, I know, but that's a part of it, which I'm very fascinated in. It's been a game that's been on my radar for a few years, and then they had like I said, a System Redux. They made an upgrade for it, and I was like, fuck it, let's do it now. Do it now. So that is all you've got coming up. Let me know what you're looking forward to. So I will reiterate. The first week for Horror Month starts on the 1st of October, which is Tuesday. And we'll be playing Monstrum then. Then we'll be playing Guilt, or Gylt, whatever that's supposed to mean. And then that will be on Wednesday next week. And then Thursday's live streams for Horror Games in Dreams, and Friday's live streams will be Crow Country and Observer. And then every other week will be Mondays for Monstrum. We're going to call it Monstrum Mondays. I planned it all. I'm so sad, aren't I? Yeah. So Monstrum Mondays, and then you'll get double editions of GYLT on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. Then I'll be live streaming Dreams Horror Games on Thursdays, 8 o'clock UK time, 9 o'clock Germany, 2 o'clock. Is it 2 o'clock or is it 3 o'clock? No, it is 3 o'clock US Eastern time. I take it all back. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. I've been saying 2 in my head all this time. But yeah, I don't reiterate the Thursday live stream times ever. That's probably a good reason why. But yeah, and then Friday's live stream sits Crow Country and Observer, which is 7:30 UK time, 8:30 in Germany, 2:30 US Eastern time. You know the drill if you've been watching the live streams. So that's it. Monstrum, Guilt, Dreams Horror Games, Crow Country, Observer. Got it? Good. And that's all you're gonna hear now from me. So I'm gonna thank everyone for watching and taking the time out to see what I've got lined up for this year's Horror Month. I will be giving information at some point, not now because it's kind of vague, about my birthday / Halloween live stream, because I'll be hitting the big 4-0. I'm old. It will be my birthday on Halloween, which falls on a Thursday, so I may not be doing Dreams that day. We may be just doing that, so we'll be playing plenty of Dreams before then. But yeah, details are vague at the moment because I don't even know what I'm going to be doing that day or whatever, so keep a lookout for the live streams to come to be updated on that information, or I may release another video on one of the weekends that I have free to post something as an update for what I'm doing for Halloween. But usually I play a fun game that I want to play, and then we'll play something spooky afterwards that I've been really enjoying. So it may be the same here, but of course, if you want to know the deets, then I'll be updating, and I'll also be updating it on Discord. Join my Discord. I'll put a link in the description. I've already posted an exclusive video up on Discord that only people on Discord can see, and it only pertains to people on Discord. So if you want to be a part of that, then go and join my Discord down there, and be part of the fun. But yeah, that is all for now. I've got to shut up because I've got to put this together. What time is it? I've got 45 minutes to put this together. Let's see if I can do it. It's been a busy week for me. I've got too much stuff piling up. Yeah. And if anyone's curious on a Toad Plays, that is coming out on the Sunday next week, or this week even, because I don't want Toad to be taking up my pleasure of horror. Thank you very much. He was allowed to take up a slot on March, but he's not allowed to take up a slot on this because he's not spooky enough, are you, Toad?
No. Never will be. It's too scary.
So I'll be posting that on Sunday. Toad Plays, and then the next Toad Plays will come at the 1st of November or something like that. We'll see. But he won't be in October, safe to say. Anyway, wrapping up now. Goodbye for now. And don't forget to die.